Have you noticed how hard it is to buy a home right now? It's not just you. Inventory is shrinking, rents are climbing, and families are getting squeezed. But here's the part nobody's really talking about. Wall Street isn't just playing the stock market anymore. They're playing Monopoly with our neighborhoods. From BlackRock backed funds to big landlords scooping up single family homes and building massive rental complexes. The housing game is being rewritten. And guess what? You and I are the ones that are paying the higher prices. This is the heartbeat of money, and I'm Jon P. Moffitt. I want you to think about Monopoly. Yeah, the board game. Usually, it's you versus your friends. But imagine playing against someone who starts with 10 times the cash. And instead of buying one property at a time, they're buying entire streets. How long before you go bankrupt? That's what's happening in real life. Companies like Invitation Homes, American Homes for Rent, and Premium Partners, they're buying up entire neighborhoods and then renting them back to families. In Atlanta, investors own more than 20% of single-family homes. In Phoenix and parts of Texas, same story. So what does that mean? Neighborhoods that used to be communities of owners are now becoming clusters of renters, and wealth flows up from families to funds. Now, you might be thinking, okay, but can't we just build more homes? Here's the problem. In June 2025, single-family housing starts dropped almost 5%. That's the slowest pace in almost a year. And building permits? They fell to the lowest level since 2023. So not only are we not catching up, we're falling further behind. When new homes aren't being built, existing homes get more expensive. And investors gain more leverage, and renters, they're trapped with fewer choices and higher prices. Take Phoenix, for example. A teacher I spoke with told me she and her husband had been outbid 6 times. And every time the buyer wasn't a family, it was a fund. Now their rent is up 22% in just 3 years. So let's talk about how that feels. In Manhattan, median rent just hit $4,700. And in Brooklyn and Queens, the increase is even steeper. Nationwide rents are all up about 3% just this year. But compared to before the pandemic, they're up 36% higher. So when people say it feels like we're paying more and saving less, that's not just a feeling, that's the truth. And remember, rent doesn't build equity, it just transfers wealth from household to institution. So some states are pushing back. Texas tried to cap investors at 10 homes each, but that bill failed. And in Europe, Berlin voters actually moved to take corporate landlords' properties. And in Stockholm, they've been protesting in the streets. Here in the US, lawsuits are challenging softwares like RealPage, which some say it helps landlords set rents in a lockstep. So yeah, there's pushback, but the machine just keeps moving. Now, let's tie that back to the heartbeat of money. Remember the 3-legged stool: emotion, mindset, and spirit? So let's break it down. Emotionally, families are stressed. They're losing homes to cash buyers, paying more in rent, and feeling trapped. Housing isn't just 4 walls, it's stability. And the mindset, when people believe home ownership is out of reach, they shift from ownership to survival. And that mindset shapes how entire generations think about wealth. And spiritually, communities thrive when people invest in them. When you own your home, you care about your streets, your block, and your neighborhood. But when housing is owned by faraway funds, that spirit of ownership and legacy starts to fade. And here's the truth. When one leg of the stool, emotion, mindset, or spirit, start to waver, the whole heartbeat of money starts to falter. And right now, housing is shaking all 3. So where do we go from here? We need more housing starts, smarter policy, and most of all, awareness. So let me ask you, have you or someone you know been outbid by a corporate buyer or felt the pinch of rent rising faster than your paycheck? At the end of the day, this isn't about Wall Street, landlords, or government data. It's about you. It's about your family, your streets, and your community. The heartbeat of money is a rhythm of real life, yours and mine. So let's keep this conversation alive. Drop your story, share your perspective, and let's build something together. And if this hit home today, I want you to share this with your friends, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next episode.